That's fine. Alani, we did a bit of a long intro, but we've jumped into our questions now. Our first
Let's
question
go.
comes from M2K, who asks, what are some tips to get out of pop-up jail?
Well,
Amex is a black box and Chase is a brand new box. So any tips on getting out of pop-up jail?
there aren't really any tips. There are speculations. Now, I'm going to avoid Chase because Chase doesn't really exist in the reality that we live in long. Has not existed long enough, for a day. It literally launched today or something. So no one can actually give you any tips or tricks or anything like that. Amex, I'll say it like this. There's no real answer. I have been and am currently in pop-up jail with Amex. And people will say, use a referral link. That doesn't necessarily do it. Put spend on your cards. I went full like Amex for months. And I'm talking not a little bit. Like at the first half of this year, I think almost everything went through Amex. That didn't do it either. No lifetime language. Sometimes, if you can find one of those links, that will work. That's not necessarily a way out of it. That's just a kind of a backdoor and get lucky. Now, I got out of pop up jail or found a way around it once. It revolved around me lying to Amex, and I will not be sharing that publicly. But if you remember on my channel, I made a video about what I did. And I'm not trying to put it behind a paywall. It's just, it is not honest whatsoever. So I don't want to put it out there in the public that way. So I'm being responsible that way. I'm going to leave it right there. And I'm going to say it worked. It worked once, and I've never done it again because I don't want Amex to come at me. I don't want them to come after me. And I definitely don't want them to take all my points and stuff away from me because I knew what I did was wrong. It just happened to work. Like a hot streak in Vegas, I cashed my chips out and walked away. Got what I wanted, got out. That's it. We're not putting it back on the table. We're not letting it ride. But I'll say it like this. There's no real way unless you literally work for Amex approval department. I don't think there's any formal answer in which any of us will be able to provide you.
No, honesty is always key. Just to any product managers, any supervisors, any potential American Express executives, we don't know what Lonnie's talking about.
No idea. Never seen the video.
Can't corroborate any of this. Assess if the card is worth getting without the welcome offer. Give it a serious assessment. There are certain American Express cards that are worth going after and attaining without the welcome offer. But I certainly understand why you would prioritize a welcome offer. But there are cards that are worth it.
Yes. Actually, speaking specifically on that, so I am now a brand new owner of the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card, also through Amex, $650 annual fee. This is one of the things that Matt is talking about that I recently considered for myself. No matter what the welcome offer just so happens to decide to be, it's always at minimum $6,000. I think at this current moment is 8,000, is 6,000 for a first 100,000 Marriott points, and then you get extra 50 if you spend 2,000 more, so $8,000 to get 150 points. At this exact same time, you can get a 40% boost if you just straight up and buy Marriott points directly from Marriott. Now, if you were to go for the welcome bonus, you are committing to a minimum of $6,000 or $8,000 for 150,000 Marriott points. Or if you're in pop-up jail, just take the card and just go buy the points. If you're going to go for the welcome offer, you're committing to spend $8,000 in this case. For the low cost of like 18,000 round up, I'm going to say $1,900. You'll end up with 210,000 Marriott points instead. You just saved yourself a little bit over $6,000 and got the exact same goal. You got everything that you wanted. Now, of course, you can double this down. If you get the welcome offer, it's also a great time to also buy the points. But in this particular case, I didn't want to spend $8,000 for 150 Marriott points. So I was like, I'm going to take the pop-up jail, take the card. My 650 just hit. And yet, for less than $2,000, I got more than what I would have got for the welcome offer, and I still get everything else. I get literally every box checked. I get the 300 credit. And for me, the one reason why I did it is because when my year rolls over and I get that free night certificate worth 85K Marriott points, that starts now versus when I get out of pop-up jail and then hit the apply button. So I know next year I'll have it when I want it versus I got to get out of pop-up jail. I got to do this. I got to spend this money. I just saved money. I saved time and all that other stuff. So to Matt's point, this is a real life example. This works. The only other one that I would have that I could do that with was Hilton. But I would actually, as Matt said, I would do the math and see what the real benefit is. Because in this case, in this case with the Marriott bonus, buy points bonus, it's actually a better deal not to take the welcome offer. Financially, in every sense, it's a better deal to not take that welcome offer if you just want the points. If all you're going for is the points, it's cheaper to just go buy it.
If you're working a second welcome offer, you can go buy points on that welcome offer and take 1,900 off of your welcome offer on that second card. So it might actually help you out in the long term.
Yep. Or if you're working a upgrade offer from American Express or anything like that, spend can also be used to multiply out your points. I would venture that there are 4 cards that from American Express that it's perfectly chill to skip the welcome offer on, and if you're in pop-up jail, and just get the card and you can get the points relatively easily from there. The 4 I would say would be the Bonvoy Brilliant, the Hilton Aspire, the Delta Reserves, both business and personal, so one or the other, and the Delta Platinums, because the companion passes on the Platinums and the companion passes on the Reserves far outvalue the annual fee on both of those cards, and the MQD boost on both of those. The MQD accelerator on both of those cards is huge.
I would say the Surpass, because if you don't have Hilton Gold, getting Hilton Gold is a major upgrade to what points you're getting back.
I'm
20% to 80%.
Yeah, I'm torn on the Surpass.
Credits every quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your annual fee.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to touch on that, and so for example, you could actually just go without buying the points and just take the card as a whole. And I think Marriott is a good card. The Brilliant is one because the $25 a month on food credit is ridiculously stupid easy to hit. And then as long as you stay in a Marriott within the first 12 months, if you really want to say, I spent $650, you're going to get your $650. You're getting your $650 between that $300 and whatever platinum status and staying at it, whatever. But then I would also say the same thing for Hilton Aspire, to just get it without the welcome bonus. If it's a card that makes sense to you and it's a card that you legit want, and it's going to make sense for you in your wallet, then if you're in pop-up jail, still get it. You're still getting the $400 in Hilton twice a year. You're still getting the airline travel credit. You still get the free night certificate right out of the gate. That's already worth over $550 as well. So you don't even need to buy the Hilton points. You're still making out like a bandit just by accepting the card. Those would be the only 2 that I would 100% say, screw it, just take the card. But if in the same regard, if Hilton's doing another 100% bonus and you're in pop-up jail, absolutely take the card. And once again, it's the same math. You're going to get way more points than you would by spending $5,000, $6,000 in spend requirement. You're going to get the more points. You're not in the same type of commitment. You don't have that anxiety, whatever you want to call it. And you still get that rush. You're getting the points and saving money. So even the Aspire is a better deal in that way.
Yep. I can see your point on the Surpass. I personally would just rather, like, I'd be willing to lose 1 welcome offer with Hilton. I don't know that I could do 2. If I'm in a situation where I've already missed one, I got to get another one. But if you haven't done a Surpass or an Aspire and you're in pop-up jail, you'd be okay getting either and buying the points. And
but Surpass is doing annual free right now as a promo, so your first year is free. So if it's right now with that $0 for your first year, then I could recommend the Surpass for $0 for that first year.
I also
Yeah.
think the Surpass is just a better card for more people than the
Yes.
Yeah.
Aspire.
Yes.
So
It
more
is.
people. The Aspire is a great card if you're a Hilton loyalist and if you stay at the resorts. Having the resort credit on the Aspire, I think, takes it down for. I think the closest one to me is like the middle of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go to the
Mhm.
middle of Pennsylvania to go to a Hilton resort. So that one is going to be harder for people, I think.
I say the Surpass is a better day everyday spin card. Like it's actually better for the normal everyday spin categories that versus the Aspire is more it's travel focused and travel only. Yes,
Yeah.
there's a dining multiplier, but everything has a dining multiplier.
Yeah.
But like the other big multiplier outside of Hilton is rental cars. And you don't really rent a car when you're at home. So for the majority, you're going to be traveling to get that 7x multiplier there. But I can see it either way. And for me, the killer aspect from my Aspire was the diamond status because I had Hilton Gold 12 other different ways, like most of us do. And I was like, getting the Surpass ain't going to really do anything for me except for help me earn more points. And then when I actually can we talk about travel days again, RJ? Can we just have that moment where it's so sacred? And you need to differentiate yourself from the 9 out of 10 people that have Hilton Gold and that 1 out of 10 that has Diamond. So yes, I went with Aspire because I already had everything else and all those other bonus categories.
Yeah.
The
No,
pros and cons of having so many cards.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong card. It's a card you can consider. I personally wouldn't want to, but you're both absolutely right that the Surpass is a card that you could forego a welcome offer on and still be quite okay. So yeah, no, I think that's fine. With regard to Chase and Pop-Up Jail, brand new. Who the heck knows what's going to happen there? The new eligibility language from Chase with regards to the Sapphire cards puts a lot of emphasis on the word may. You may be entitled to a new welcome offer if these other conditions aren't met. Put it best, one, May is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that in the new statement, in the new verbiage. Two, it sounds like your relationship with Chase may vary on your ability to get welcome offers on Sapphires. And three, we have no clue what it's going to look like. We're going to see data points pour in on Reddit, on both the Chase Sapphire Reddit, the Sapphire Reserve Reddit, the credit card Reddit, I'm sure the churning subreddit. All of those subreddits are going to have data points over the next couple of days with people who are like, oh, I'm 824 and got denied, or I'm 824 and they gave me the pop-up window. We'll get back that kind of in the news.
I'm LOL of 24 and I got we'll send you a letter in 7 to 10 days, but they didn't pull my credit and I wasn't logged in when I applied. I don't know if they realized, oh, you have an account because it's the same email. And they're like, we've seen your credit profile. We'll give you the IHG card, but we're not giving you the reserve.
Which card did you throw the application at?
The reserve.
Maybe because of your new annual fee Sapphire.
Maybe.
But you'll get a note in 7 to 10 business days.
7 to 10 business days.
Yeah. So tips to get out of Pop-Up Jail, Amex, and there are cards worth sidestepping. The biggest problem with Pop-Up Jail with Amex is the only cards that it really foundationally affects are the membership reward cards. If your relationship with Amex can allow you to sidestep membership rewards because you only want to establish a relationship with Marriott or Hilton or Delta, you don't have to worry about Pop-Up Jail. You can free yourself from the thought of Pop-Up Jail.
And if you really want the Blue Cash every day or the Blue Cash preferred, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So